Hello everyone, my name is George Farmer, also known as the Aquascaper, and I'm here today to show you one of my latest aquascapes at home. This is a Superfish Home 60 aquarium, and it's an all-in-one aquarium, so it comes with the lighting, which is LED. It's integrated into the actual tank itself, and it comes with a really cool little remote control as well. So you have white and blue LEDs, and you can control them independently. So you can dim them down in steps. So 2, 3, and so you've got the sort of moonlight effect there with just the blue, and then you can even switch that on and off as well. So, and then going back up again with the white light, and it ramps up automatically. It doesn't store the setting that you've got, which is handy. So if you're using a plug-in timer for a photo period, you haven't got to worry about turning it on, off and on there. It will automatically come on for you, so that's a really good feature. It's also controllable from some buttons on the top of the unit. So going back to the tank itself, it's float glass. It's not opti-white glass, so but that's reflected in the price. It is an entry-level aquascaping tank, I would say. So float glass, not quite as clear as low iron or opti-white glass. It's silicone work. It's tidy, but it's not minimalist. It's not like ADA or some other high-end products. But you know, nonetheless, it is very neat, and it's a good quality product. Built-in filtration. So you see this black box here with there's inlet strainers on the side, and there's actually an internal filter which sits inside this container, and there's a slot there for a heater as well. So that's perfect. We've got a CO2 kit attached. This is a 3-in-1 diffuser, so it comes with a built-in non-return valve, which obviously that stops a backflow of water, prevents any water getting into the regulator, which is a really sensitive piece of kit, so we don't want water getting in there. A bubble counter as well, which is literally just a cavity there, which you fill up partially with water. And as the gas comes through, you'll see little bubbles appear, and that gives you an indication of how much CO2 you're adding to your aquarium. And last but not least, you have the actual ceramic plate diffuser. Now this is a great bit of kit. It's the plate itself is really well made, and it gives a very consistent CO2 output. So if you look across the whole surface of the disc, the ceramic disc, there's a very even distribution of micro bubbles. When you compare that with some of the cheaper glass ceramic type of diffusers, it's superior. And also it's removable. So this retaining cap here that unscrews, and you just take the ceramic disc out and you can clean it. I normally clean mine in bleach and then dechlorinate it and then put it back in again. I like to do that probably once a week, just to make sure you get a consistent output of CO2. You can see the filter itself is quite powerful. There's good surface agitation there, and I've positioned the diffuser so the circulation picks up the CO2 bubbles, and the CO2 bubbles are actually getting really well distributed amongst the whole of the water column. So if I look really closely down these bottom plants here, I can see them being hit by the CO2 micro bubbles, which is really important to ensure good growth. One of the tricky things about growing some carpeting plants is they tend not to get the CO2 because of the way that circulation in the tank works. So no, this is a good example of how circulation can really work well in a small tank. So going on to planting, we've planted into Colombo soil, which is an enriched soil, contains a host of nutrients, also has a high cation exchange capacity, which means it obtains nutrients from the water and holds them into the soil, makes the nutrients accessible to the plant roots. It also reduces pH and stabilises it at around pH 6, which is great for most plants and for fish as well. And it also can produce an ammonia spike. So this can be a problem if you're in a new setup where you obviously don't want a big ammonia spike, because that can lead to algae, and it's obviously toxic for fish as well. So what I'd like to do is change loads of water in the first couple of weeks. So every day I'll change half of the water for the first week, and then every other day for the second week, every third day for the third week. and then after week 4 I can go back to the regular 50% a week water changes. Aquascape wise, we'll start off with the focal point plant, which is this Anubias. This variety, they're all aquafleur plants, by the way. This variety is Anubias Barteri Nana Bonsai. So it's kind of like an in-between the standard Nana and Petite. So it's quite beautiful actually. The leaves are kind of a little bit more sword-like than standard Anubias. It's quite attractive. We've also got some red planting. This is a new plant that I've not used before. This is Alternantha rosifolia mini. So like a dwarf version of the standard Alternantha rosifolia. In the foreground we've got hairgrass, so this is Eleocharis acicularis, we've got hydrocotyle tripartia and Cryptocorum parva. I like to mix up my foreground plants just to create a bit more of a naturalistic look. The parva is really slow growing compared to the other 2 species, so it probably will get overwhelmed eventually. But with appropriate trimming and stuff, you can make it look really cool. Towards the back in the midground we've got Cryptocorum amiocorum, I believe, and then further back on the right here we have Starogine portobello, which I've never grown before, but Chris Feinhold from the Greater Washington Aquatic Plant Association recommended it to me, so I thought I'd have a go with that. I'm used to the standard Starogine repens, so I'm looking forward to see how that compares. And then last but not least we've got the lovely Cyperus halferi at the back there. I've tried that a couple of times and I never really had much luck with it. It seems to take ages to adapt to underwater conditions, so hopefully I'll have a bit more luck this time. So there we have it, guys. It's a standard aquascape, nothing too fancy, just a nice bit of wood, a little bit of rock work, trying out different plant species. I was a little bit concerned that the light wouldn't be strong enough, but this has been growing for 7 days now and I can see growth in all of the plants and there's no algae, so I'm really happy with it. And there we go. Happy days. Please subscribe.